Good evening, every pony, and yes, I am still alive. I'm sorry that I haven't been active for a long time now, but the doctors suggested to me that a long break was exactly what I needed after, being tortured and whatnot. But, I'm in good spirits. I get to come back on my channel and talk about fanfiction again, and I've got a cool sword now. So, from here on out, it'll be back to the usual format of talking about stories and having a fun old goofy time. Just so long as nothing unexpected happens from here on out, I should be A-O.
Oh, okay, I didn't know the walls here were so hard. Hey, a whole new channel! Finally get to meet some new ponies. It'll be great to talk some more—
Demon! No more demons in my channel!
Demon? Wait, what?
You think you can just walk back in here and screw with my channel again? Oh, no you don't. You're going right back where you came from, Mr. Elsabub.
But do I look like a demon to you? I'm part pony, you know. Name's Neon Sphinx Foster.
Okay, the neon I get. But, Sphinx?
Dude, human head, tail, pony hooves. Get the gist, right?
It's a mystery why we let bronies design their own OCs.
What was that?
Nothing!
Anyway, I've been trying to get through to people's channels so I can meet new reviewers. So now that I'm here, I was wondering if you want to do a collab.
You broke into my channel to ask me if we could do a collab?
Broke in. Your channel still looks fine to me.
You tore a hole in my wall!
Oh, right. I'll get it later, promise.
Well, if you're mad enough to break a hole in my wall, you must really want to. And I was just preparing myself to review Off the Edge of the Map.
Off the edge of the map? Funny, me too. Got my own thoughts and everything.
Well, alright then. This is Off the Edge of the Map by Detron. Off the Edge of the Map is an adventure story that centers around Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy, who end up in an uncharted part of Equestria after a stunt that Rainbow attempted goes wrong.
From there, the two have to try and find their way back home from where they've landed to Equestria, discovering new locations and meeting strange creatures along the way. It's a pretty simple story, but what really makes the story great is the adventure itself.
The world of Equestria is so vast and contains so many races of creatures that beg to be expanded upon, and fanfiction is a great place to do that. Detron takes full advantage of this and develops a lot of things with both canon races and some original ideas which help Equestria seem more like a fantasy world.
Yeah, no kidding. One that especially got my attention was when Rainbow and Fluttershy come across that green entity on that deserted island. Which I won't say at the point on what it is because spoilers. All I can say is that I'm very surprised that Detron chose such a creature if it's barely known about at all.
In addition, we get some creative ideas on what civilizations belonging to races outside of Equestria are like. In this case, it's dragons. The images that are created here are very impressive to read, and the way that it's written makes their city seem like an environment that could appear in the show.
Not to mention huge! Sweet Celestia, from the way they describe the dragon's home to the ponies? Heck, the ponies are literally my size by the sound of it, I swear.
It's a big world, alright, and that's really something that gets across in this fic. How big their world actually is outside of Equestria, and just how little is known about their world outside of the world that the ponies know. It's pretty impressive.
No fooling. Guess by this point we should move on to the characters, eh?
Every story needs some good ones, and the characters here are pretty spot on. Rainbow Dash acts like Rainbow Dash, and Flutters acts like Flutters. And in addition, we get some pretty interesting OCs.
Huh? You sure? Cause the main OC is kinda, well, hard to get. What I mean is the dragon named Scar. I don't know, it's just hard to interpret.
I get where you're coming from, because I thought the exact same thing when I first read his chapter. His actions and dialogue make it very difficult to understand whether or not he's good or evil. Now, this just could be me overthinking it, but I think that this actually adds a bit of tension to the story. I mean, think about it. They're traveling with a giant dragon who they've only just met, and who may or may not want to eat them. And because of the way he talks, we don't know whether he wants to either.
I'm not sure, honestly. I mean, it's hard to relate with a dragon who, in my opinion, doesn't have an exact set persona. From each line said to me, it's hard to see him as real. He doesn't get overly mad, excited, happy, or whatever. Just a sort of neutral feeling. I'm not saying being neutral's bad, like Desna and Eska from Avatar for instance, but you need to add a little something mixed to show there's a bit more alive. And I don't see that with Scar, really.
I understand, but I guess it just didn't bother me that much. One thing that did, though, was the pony in the final chapter. While the scenario that he's discovered in is very interesting, I just found him to be very boring and forgettable. The other two OCs before this guy were at least either very creative or interesting, but this last character just didn't stick out amongst them.
Guess we can call that running low on ideas.
Well, not really, because again, he does live in a very interesting and unique location. It's just that as a character, I think he fell a bit flat.
Oh, well, okay then if you say so. Funny, I had a problem with Scar that you didn't have trouble with, and you had trouble with a pony I didn't. Funny, eh? So, what's next?
Just miscellaneous stuff. Anyway, something that makes Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy very enjoyable in this story is that they're smart with working around the situation that they're in. They use survival techniques like getting water from the clouds, and using whatever tools are available to them to help them if one of them gets injured. They're like little pony versions of Bear Grylls.
Didn't think Bear Grylls was gonna come up. Anyway, I do agree with what you said, that is pretty neat, though one thing in the story kinda felt left out. There's a point where Scar, Rainbow, and Flutters confront this Dragon King, and I thought there was gonna be a huge action sequence with the dragons, but all Scar did was slam the dragon's head in the ground and that's it.
That's more of a really small thing, and it didn't bother me that much.
Guess I just thought dragons were more tougher than that.
Future me, can we roll the clip, please? You were saying?
90% of dragons?
Anyway, last thing that I want to touch on is that the story is tagged as a romance as well as an adventure. Personally though, I would have lent more towards calling it a slice of life instead, since really the only little snippet of romance that's implied between these two comes right at the very end of the story. And it's pretty underdeveloped. Other than that though, that's really all I have to say. So Neon, your thoughts?
My thoughts on the story are pretty summed up in one word. Creative. I love some good creative stories, and this one goes right up my alley.
I'm in agreement. I really like this story for its creative ideas. I love fantasy stories that take time to build up their world like this, so I kinda have an attachment to it. There are a few things which bug me about it a little, but personally I don't think they detract from the overall experience too much. Go ahead and give it a read for yourselves.
Say, can I ask you something?
What's up? You didn't crash another hole in here, did you?
What? No! You see, this same story has a sequel called Apotheosis. Do you think we can review that too, or are you booked up?
You crash through my wall. You have me do a collab with you. And now, without even fixing said wall, you want me to do the sequel with you? Maybe.
That's good enough for me. And don't worry about the wall. Do you know they can fix themselves? Funny, right? By my guess, it'll get fixed up in, say, a week. Okay, have a good day.
Hey, hang on a second. You can't leave. You said that you'd fix this thing. Hey!
Stupid bird pony thingy. I'm not even back 10 minutes and already shit's going wrong for me. Oh well, it's a living, I guess. Anyway, thank you all very much for joining me once again. I am EmeraldComet, and I will see you all next time.